Hello and welcome to another edition of Anderson Extra, a collection of edited highlights of the Jerry Anderson Show, the Radio Ulster programme which has hundreds of listeners each day no matter what the weather is like. You may hear voices during this programme, one of which belongs to me, another belongs to Sean Coyle, the possessor of Ireland's largest eyebrow.
I was watching the Chieftains last night, 50 years of the Chieftains. There were some great musicians on playing. Anyway, there was this man sitting there, you see, and he was singing. And I thought about you, and I thought about your Uncle Manny,
yes,
and that whole background that you came from. And I was wondering, I said, I must ask him in the morning, why when a man's giving you a big cameli, does he close his eyes?
Because he's transported into joy, that's why. And why would a man, every time he would tell a story, always begin with the same word?
But the man finished the song the way you said. He would. I was waiting to see if he would finish the song the way you said they finish songs, and he did. I said the wee Brit was right. Right, come on. How did he finish the big camellia?
Okay, hey man, I was singing the camellia. Right, I'm coming to the end of it.
Right, you better get this right.
And Jenny dear went out to play on a cold September day, and Johnny Doe regretted the time when he said that the words don't rhyme. And after all they said and done, the man went on his way. And years ago it was all different then, because it's different than it is today.
That's right. That's right. He talked the last line.
Always talk the last line.
And then he lifted his drink immediately and
Good
took
luck
a bite.
now. And it's different than us today. Good luck now. Go ahead, Johnny. Good man. You're a queer man. You're some crack.
That's right. You see, I have now decided that I'm going to... I realise now I have been serving my time as an anthropologist. And I'm in my first year of apprenticeship.
What can I say
and
to you?
I would say in 2 years' time I'll be a fully fledged anthropologist, unqualified.
Well.
I appreciate that. You know.
I realise you're going down the right road.
But
I must give you a number of books to scan.
No, I don't want to read those. No, I just want to observe more. And I was...
Conch Exchange in the Trobriand Islands?
I was listening to the boys singing last night, and I said, I must ask Mr. Anderson now this question as well, too. Why is it only the Irish people that after they would sing a song, they go, yeah?
Well, that's been known in the Congo.
Yeah, but... You know,
certain African people
we
do.
sort of yelp, don't we?
We do yelp, but people yelp for very good reasons. It's
Yahoo!
To express exuberance. Yahoo! Yahoo! The talk continues in much the same vein, talk of a lost world, but dimly remembered by the presenter, even though he himself has reached a certain degree of decrepitude. They say that when a man remembers vividly things in his distant past, his time on earth may be growing short. Death approaches.
See, when the man was given the big camellia.
Yes.
Right?
We must explain maybe perhaps what a camellia is. It's come all ye, that's the origin of it. And indeed, come all ye, in other words, listen to this.
Right?
Yes.
So he's given it everything. And there he is, the eyes closed. But I noticed that in particular, women are uncomfortable. They don't know where they look. They don't know where they look at the man. They don't know whether they look at the floor. They don't know where they look at their nails. They sit rather uncomfortably in the chair. Where a man will sit and a man will look at his pint and he'll take a drink of his pint and he'll look at the man singing and he'll nod in agreement with what he's saying or something like that. But girls seem very uncomfortable when a man's given a big camellia.
Well, I think I know why.
Why?
Because women, they are uncomfortable, as you say, when they see a man being transported with delight. A man who has gone out of himself. A man goes into a kind of a trance. A man closes his eyes, so he loses all kind of common decorum. And the other one is the man who used to tell the stories. They used to call them, what would they call them, shanachis or something like that? I never liked that. I never liked them because they're always going, I was walking down the street the other day. And once I hear that, I switch off. I was walking down the street. I met a man with red hair.
Well, I knew a man and you knew him, John Campbell.
John Campbell. Which John Campbell is that now? Is that the doctor's poet?
No, but there's John Campbell from...
from Garchin?
No.
Somewhere about Tyrone.
Mullaghbawn,
up now, down Maneira.
John Campbell was very good.
He was great.
Aye.
But once I hear them saying, I met a man with red hair, I kind of switch off, you know. But my other uncle, Dinny...
Yeah.
Not the fiddle player, the other uncle. But he used to always start a story, and he always started it the same way. And I liked that because it was always a different story, but the first line was all the same, always the same way, and it was always the same thing. And they'd say, Danny, will you tell us a yarn? No. Ach, you'll tell us a yarn. Go on, Denny. Ach, not at all. No. Ach, go on, will you? Ach, no, not at maybe after. No, I'll do it now, sure. Just a wee drop of the crater. Ach, no, it's all right, I've enough here. What about an egg and onion sandwich? Ach, a bottle of porter. All right, aye, okay, give us a sup of that. You tell us, well, give us a sup of this first. Oil the throat. Right then, are you ready? No, I couldn't. No, I'm not ready. No, maybe, look, John over there, look, John will sing. No, John's already sang. Go on, you do. Go on, tells a yarn. All right then. There was a woman in Ballymaggan.
No matter what the story was about.
No, but it always started. There was a woman from Ballymaggan.
Yeah, but no matter what.
It always go in a different direction then.
Yeah, but every story started. There was a woman in Ballymaggan.
That's right.
And then the story took a different turn.
You see, you don't know anything.
I don't. That's part of my learning.
That's the way it went. Anyway, let's start the programme. Geordie Tuft is 104 years old today. His plans to celebrate are well advanced. But first, the presenter denies his Ulster Scots roots. I can't understand why I liked our Woolly. I can't understand it for the life of me. Because other things that I liked when I was young, I still like them. For instance, William.
Francie and Josie.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Why did I like that? Yeah. It's because
Parahandy.
Parahandy.
I thought about him the other day.
We liked that because part of us responded to that kind of Ulster Scots thing.
Andy Stewart, the half dork.
Andy Stewart, that get trees out.
That's right.
All that stuff. Why do we like all that? You can't stand it now, but why do we like it all that? I can't stand it now. Handy.
I love that it was a
The only person we liked in Star Trek was Scotty as you good blue captain. The thruster.
By the way,
excuse me.
There's a man celebrating his birthday today, and he's on one.
Is he? Mm-hmm. Good morning, sir.
Hello, Jerry.
Geordie, happy birthday to you.
I'm 73 today.
73? What a marvellous score.
What?
That's great. Are you going to do anything special?
73.
Uh-huh. Have you anything special planned, or are you just going to...
something just the same. Make myself a couple of hot ones.
That's what you do every day.
Get the fire going.
Uh-huh. Are you going to have a special meal, slap up?
Yes.
What are you going to have, a duck or something like that? Or
I know.
Maybe a bit of a goose, maybe? What are you going to have? No, seriously, you're going to have a special meal, or are you just going to treat the day like any other?
Would you do me a favour? Would you play McAlpine's Fusiliers?
McAlpine's Fusiliers. That would be the Dubliners, perhaps.
Oh, down the glen came McAlpine men with their shovels slung behind them. 'Twas in the pub they drank the sub, and up in the spike you'll find them. They sweated blood and they washed down mud with pints and quarts of beer. And now we're on the road again with McAlpine's Fusiliers.
The presenter doesn't like the Dubliners either. The casual listener may wonder if the presenter harbours fond thoughts about anybody on this planet. There is no simple answer to that, other than to say that he's not sure yet. I can't listen to Dubliners. I can't.
So you're a big fan of the Dubliners?
No. No, I told you before, I lived with them for 3 weeks.
I know.
And toured with them. I never forget it. The longest 3 weeks of my life. I'll never forget it as long as I live. We used to play in this band, and we were under the same management as the Dubliners, and they toured all around Ireland, and we had to go with them for 3 weeks. I've never seen drink like that in my life. Afterwards, I nearly became a teetotaler.
What about Helen?
But not quite. Why do you always interrupt me when I'm talking?
Because I heard the story before.
Other people may be listening, they
and
don't know.
You're just about to launch into now, and I'm going to tell you something about them. Do you know the amazing thing about them? When we were on tour with them, they had a man.
Don't be telling my stories, okay?
No, but I didn't want you to tell the story again.
But I wasn't going to tell the story.
But the man, can I tell you something?
What?
When I was watching Gabo 2 weeks ago,
yes,
one of the guys, Barney or something, and
Barney,
he didn't drink. Wherever he was, the guy had worked in a bank or something, but he didn't drink anyway. And he said...
That was John Sheehan.
John Sheehan said, he was speaking through Barney.
I'm speaking through Barney.
But he says, my job was to get those guys out of the pub. I said, that's Anderson's story.
No.
I said, he's going to tell Anderson's story.
No. That wasn't his job at all. It was another fella's job. The other fella's job was to follow them not to get them out of the pub. His other job was to fight. His job was to get them out of the pub.
Whose job?
John Sheehan's job was to get them out of the pub.
Yes, that's what he said.
The other man's job was to find out what pub they were in.
Oh, your man's job.
His job was to follow them and find out where they all were.
Right.
And when the time came to get them all together, he would know where they were. That was his job. But see, John, he would be with them.
Yes.
Because he always used to go up in the morning, used to go in different directions. He used to try and follow them in all these different places. He had a map and everything where they might be.
That's
his job.
That was his job. Yes.
His job was to stay sober and get up in the morning
Yeah,
and wait
right.
for them to get drunk enough that they'd all go somewhere else.
That's a better story.
See, you don't listen.
No, you didn't tell it well the last time.
No, you told it.
Your story is better that time telling it.
Well, I would never have told it if I hadn't insisted on it. A man writes a poem and it's dedicated to you. Do you want me to read it?
Not really.
You sense there may be something wounding in this.
Well, if you want to read it, it's obvious, isn't it? I'm not stupid.
No, don't be so defensive. This is called The Night Walker. Who is that man with staff in hand, walking all alone? Children whisper, "Bad, bad man," from the comfort of their homes. Why does he stare with fearsome glare at an old and rusty gate? Why does he walk alone at night, so late, so very late? Under a gibbous moon, this thing, this loon, this creature of the night strides on like a man possessed, spreading fear and fright. O man in black, turn back, before it is too late. Fall down on your knees and pray, don't stare at that old gate. By the graveyard wall where shadows fall, the dead cry, "Man, atone!" From dead black eyes they visualize the man who walks alone. O ancient walker, O graveyard stalker, why do you shun the day? If you're undead, just nod your head, the creature will not say. By a lonely stream he lets a scream, a wail, a moan, a cry. One eyebrow hides his dead dark eyes. The thing breaks down in sighs. It's all right so far.
It's not too bad. Yeah.
Where am I heading? Stall a wedding! I should be in my bed. Thoughts of Jerry Anderson are forever in my head. He's ruined my life. Just ask my wife. I'm gaunt. I'm thin. But come the dawn, I swear, Sean will hand his notice in. See, there's a man who's waiting for you to leave. I can take no more. Shut that door. Look at the buccaneer. That's all he ever says to me, with a nasty kind of sneer. Sean is moving on. Tinker, soldier, tailor. The wild blue sea is calling me. I want to be a little sailor. Next morn, so all forgone. Jerry cries, "Where is Sean?" The girls reply, with a tear in their eye, "Little sailor's gone."
That's not bad.
I think it's all right. It's
I
not
think
as
it's
insulting
okay.
as I like.
No.
I usually demand that things be far more insulting. The other day I noticed that a man was complaining about his Olympic tickets being transferred willy-nilly from track events to the ladies' synchronised swimming
I want to
meets.
ask you something about that.
Can you hear me talking here?
That's no, but it's something that I feel strongly about. I want to ask you, how do you feel about synchronised swimming?
I love it.
I can't understand how it's an Olympic sport.
I understand why.
No, to me, that's one of the reasons I'm not going to watch the Olympic Games.
You're talking to a man who was in Santa Monica a month ago, who went for a walk in Santa Monica Beach on a cold November day, which was here. But there, it was 72 degrees. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. All the bums were getting out of bed. The sea was shimmering. The sun was coming over Santa Monica Pier. The sand was white. The pelicans had taken flight. And the world was stirring. And I walked along the towpath, and it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and I said, all is right with the world. And I had $5 in my pocket, and my hair was in the breeze. And I looked across the sands, and I saw what looked to me to be a kind of a tennis court. And there were people playing a game in the distance. So I said to myself, I'll go over and see what this is. And I walked over and looked, and there were 10 girls playing beach volleyball. I was there for 3 hours. You should just watch ladies synchronized swimming to watch nothing else. There's no need to watch anything. You don't want to watch people running.
How can you get a gold medal for sticking your leg up out of the water?
It often happens that the presenter's background as a qualified social anthropologist breaks through, especially when the programme calls for an explanation of some aspects of the human condition. The presenter often then senses that he is wasting his time.
I enjoyed the wind and the rain last night.
You know, that's a very primitive part of you that kicked in last night. You know, many, many years ago, you know, when man was not as sophisticated as he is today, when he climbed down from the trees and decided to live in caves, and in mortal fear of the saber-toothed tiger, which wasn't around at the time, but we'll say that anyway, and the various wolverines and all kinds of wildlife that was outside threatening him. Sometimes a man would lay in a cave at night and hear the wind whistle and know that the weather was so bad that not even the predators were out. And this is one of the reasons why a person feels a sense of safeness when the wind is bad, because he knows that he's safe, because nothing is going to come and take him away and eat him. See, that's what you thought. You don't realise that.
I didn't.
You realise that.
No, I thought about the wheelie bin.
That it might topple.
Aye. I thought all those wheelie bins will be... the whole road will be an awful mess in the morning. And then I thought the birds are coming and they'll drag things up and down the street and it's going to be awful. And my wife and I will have to go out and tidy up everything and put
Why don't
all
you
of...
just tidy up your own wheelie bin? Leave
No,
the
you
other
have to
people's wheelie bins
you have to do
alone.
your neighbours as well.
But that's weather like that's like a bonanza for the birds. The birds love that. Look at all the chips they'll be eating. Look at all the pieces of McDonald's.
They were all toppled this morning, though they're empty. They were toppled, so I fixed them all up and put them in a nice neat line in our street.
You're the only voluntary member of the council that's working today. And do you know what I think? I think you should be given the recognition that you deserve. I think you should be given an OBE.
I don't like them scattered all willy-nilly. I like them in a nice neat line.
I'm going to lobby the Queen for you. The presenter speaks to a somewhat distracted man in Murcia, which is in Spain, where he claims the temperature today is 35 degrees. A bit hot, I think. The presenter doubts this, but gives up when he realises that the Spanish resident isn't listening to him. Tell me this and tell me no more. Is it very expensive to buy property out there now because nobody has any money and everybody's selling everything? Is it very...
Oh, yes, you get a house here now, nearly half price.
You see? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Aye.
Eh? What are we
And
doing
what about
here?
the cost of living, Hugh?
What about the cost of living, Hugh?
Oh, very cheap, very cheap.
What are we doing here? 25 degrees and we're sitting here and big socks and everything on us. And the big winds howling round us and darkness and greyness and the wind lashing the sea, pounding at our doors. And
Well,
that
could
man's-
I ask...
Can you hear me talking here?
Ask Hugh, what does he do all day? How's he go
Hugh,
through the day?
What do you do all day?
Ask him again.
What do you do all day, Hugh?
Oh, just go down the beach and you know, just we're quite close to Port Mazaron,
Yes, yes.
you know, and you can go on down there and have a coffee. You know,
But is it not a long day, Hugh?
no, you always find something to do.
Yes, I see.
Okay.
You know, but
I'd have no trouble.
you're
Do you
quite
know this
an
thing about...
intellectual, Mr. Coyle.
What?
I'm saying Mr. Coyle is quite an intellectual
The line must be really bad then.
because he listens to Judge Judy, and so do I.
Yes.
But the worst thing is when you watch it. That's the worst thing. But listen,
Where are
you know,
you originally from,
will
Hugh?
you, can you
You
just shut up, will
You're
you?
not interested in Hugh. I am.
No, I'm not interested.
I want
in
to
you.
retire to Spain.
No, but you wouldn't. What could you do there?
That's what I asked you. Where's you originally from?
People aren't playing snooker in
I was originally from Ardmore.
There you are.
Ardmore, just outside of Derry, Londonderry.
Ah,
And well, see, I think you do the right thing. You see, a lot of people say they couldn't live in Spain because they'd be bored.
I left there in 1949 and never went back.
Really? Well, you did okay. You're sitting
Yeah.
in Spain in the sun, and we're sitting here foundered. Roy Walker is in Belfast today. 2 shows in the Black Box. By the time you hear this, he will have done them and gone. But his physical presence is not needed, not when both the presenter and Mr. Coyle channel him at will.
I played golf with Roy several times. He's quite a good golfer. Quite a good golfer. And he said to me one time, he said, I was in the bunker and I played this bunker shot. And he said, I'm going to give you a little tip. He says, why don't you play it from your front foot? And he got in the bunker beside me. And he took me sand iron and he whacked me ball right out of the bunker. He's a great player, you know, Roy. He's a lovely player. I would like to talk to him again. I miss Roy. I really do miss him. Could you get him on, please?
The funniest thing I ever... Roy, of course, is a good friend of yours, and I've spoken to him quite often. But the funniest encounter I ever had with him was I met him one time in a hotel in Belfast, and he was doing something, and I was sitting talking to him. And I was talking to him quite seriously. The thing about Roy is you don't know when he's been serious or not, because he says things, and even if he says something quite serious, it sounds funny. And you have to watch yourself in case you laugh at the wrong time. And he was, this wasn't the case of that, but you have to watch yourself with Roy because he'll say something.
Yeah.
I can't do him.
You're not going, it's all right. I,
You see, I'm the same as you. Whenever, look, say something serious. But say something serious. I broke my leg this morning.
Jerry, did you hear what happened to me this morning?
What happened to you?
Well, I fell down the stairs and broke my leg. You see, that's right. What do you say to Roy Walker?
That's terrible, right?
Yeah.
No, but you said to me,
Broke it in 3 places. See, what do you say to him?
well, I was talking to him, and I was talking to him seriously, and he was, it's no secret that he was very upset when Catchphrase stopped, because he knew it was a really popular program. And, when you get rid of a popular program, it upsets you if you're the presenter, because you're doing what people want, and then you're not allowed to do it. And he said, no matter where I go, he said, somebody will always come up and put my hand on the shoulder and saying, I really miss you in Catchphrase. I don't like the guy that's doing it now. And at that exact moment, a woman came up and put her hand on his shoulder and says, Roy, I really miss you in Catchphrase. See that fella's doing it now? He's no good. And Roy turned around and me, see what I mean?
There's a call for you.
But he's very funny.
Isn't
and
he?
he's such a nice guy.
A
we
very
don't
intelligent
say
man.
that lightly.
No.
Because on this programme, we if we don't like people, we say we don't like them. A question arises: can Northern Ireland people express surprise and delight in a believable manner? Can we say gosh, golly, crikey? The presenter has long harboured some doubts.
When was your last wow?
What? Would you like to rephrase that?
Yes, no, I think it's all right. When was
When
your
was the last time I
last...
said wow? You see, people from Northern Ireland can't say wow because they have to, because it comes out why.
Oh, wow.
No, but you
I
have to make it
say
special.
it with a wow.
No, but you see, the point is, people in Northern Ireland can't say. How do you pronounce H-O-W?
How?
You said that's not right. It's how.
Oh, that's because you're Radio 4
No,
training.
no,
Yes,
no,
it
no.
is.
No,
It's
because
your Radio 4
No, you said
training.
hi.
Ask me to say it again.
Say how.
How?
How. Well,
How?
say W-O-W.
Whoa, whoa.
You see, it's wrong.
Yeah, wow.
You see, you can't say why. Because you're starting to get why.
Ah, but if you say it the way it's written, but if you say wow, I would say wow.
No, but you can't say wow because it comes out unnaturally from a Northern Ireland person's mouth.
Well, you say wow.
Wow. You see, it's no good because you have to make an effort to say wow. Because if you were saying the way you wanted to say it, you'd say why.
Well, Emma's from Donegal. Get her to say.
Emma, will you say wow?
Why?
That's awful. It's an awful wow. That was a terrible
Why?
Why? That was terrible wow.
You can't say wow. People from London can't say wow. See, that's what was wrong with President Mary McAleese. She went, wow.
I
And they
didn't.
went, no.
I didn't like her.
Vocal.
I didn't like her saying. I didn't. She
No. She rehearsed it at
Even
night.
if she had to turn around and says, "Jeepers." No.
Wow. If he can't do wow, how is the presenter to convey his astonishment at all the wonderful achievements of the good people of Ulster? Coilus Interruptus has a theory. A sharp intake of breath? Well, I'm sorry about that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
I know,
You do that.
I know, but what's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with it. But
See how defensive I'm getting?
no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, why do you bring it to people's attention to be listening to me going... Have you noticed a change in me in this past day or two?
Yes.
Yeah.
You seen it, Janet?
There's a great falseness about you.
I was going to say serenity.
Janice is your colour.
What?
Is it different colours?
He's quite tan. Was he
Pink.
away? He's very tan.
Janice is where you sprayed.
No, I've left those days behind me.
Oh.
There was a time, and
Yeah, you see, you're right. Because you're wearing a white T-shirt, a
Yes.
white top,
Yes.
and it's open right down to your...
naval.
Well,
My naval outfitters.
so you must have got a wee... You must be...
No.
You were at yourself last night. You know what I mean? You were...
I haven't done that for years. Listen, one of the things that's important now, you're looking at me, and I know what you're thinking. Janet's looking at me and saying, look at how young he looks. Isn't that what you're thinking, Janet? And you're probably thinking, how have I achieved this in so short a time? Because the last time Janet saw me was before the holidays, I think.
Do you see there's fear now about the injections?
Oh, that doesn't affect me in any way. The Botox?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't affect me in any way, because I've never gone down that road. And I know you've been tempted, but you're afraid your eyebrow might separate itself. See, what happens, what would you do if you get Botox? See, what happens is one eyebrow stays up and the other one goes down. You're like a kind of a ski slope.
Why?
Well, it's to do with the rigidity of the facial muscles. See, what happens is if you get an injection of Botox, you may think to yourself, "Why does he know so much about this?" But I study things. You know, I look at things and I read things for the benefit of this program, so I'm able to talk about them when the subject comes up. If you get a little Botox injection in your forehead, right?
Right.
You don't necessarily get the same amount of Botox all over the entire span of your forehead, and of course, your span of your forehead is much greater than most. You see, what happens is that you would get an injection up there, which would cause your muscles to contract a little, thereby
Pulling the eyebrow up?
Pulling the eyebrow up a little.
But I never had a high eyebrow.
No, but you only have one eyebrow.
But I was never very high.
I know, but what I'm saying is if you get that done, it would maybe pull part of your eyebrow up and leave the other part the way it is. You know, if you have a monobrow. But see, that would look like a ski slope.
Right.
I hope you don't think I'm laughing
Looked
at your
like
eyebrow.
Shipley Street in Derry.
See, people don't realise the Shipley Street is a slippery street to slide upon.
Yeah.
It's one of the steepest streets in Europe, actually, and it's almost perpendicular. And in many ways,
It's the steepest commercial street in Europe.
it is indeed. And many of the muscular legs that you see around Derry Stoke London Derry are directly attributable to trekking up and down that street. I myself went up a number of times because that's the way I used to go to the Dole. Thank you for listening. Until next week, from me, Jerry Anderson, goodbye.